Getting used to this phone. I thought I took a picture again. Welcome back, y'all. So I want to discuss weapons. I know I'm late. Weapons came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Saw it a few days ago. I wanted to talk about it. For whatever reasons, I tend to know when I'm really going to enjoy a movie, because as high as these ticket prices are, I don't go as often as I did like when I was in high school or even 15 years ago, 10 years ago, right? But watching the trailer, I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm really going to enjoy this. Kind of like Sinners. Sinners was the last movie I saw before Weapons, and that was back in April when it came out, right? So I said, in true social media fashion, you need to hurry. If there's something you want to see and you're like me and you do not do spoilers, you need to go ahead and see it. Real quick, I want to talk about these movie prices. I went on ahead and splurged because, like I said, I don't go as often as I used to. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that subscription for Regal, because Regal cinemas are pretty much in most states. You can pay like $20-something a month to watch unlimited amount of movies. You get discount on concession, all that. So anyway, you know, back in the day, matinee used to be a deal, like a good deal. Okay, I remember when I was in middle school, I remember paying $5 for matinee, whereas now it was after tax $17. I remember when they didn't used to have tax for movie tickets. Do y'all remember that? Like, it was $5. It was a flat $5. Now they're adding tax. So the ticket alone was $17. This is matinee because I went at like 11:30 in the morning. My slushie was $9 and some. And I don't even remember how much the popcorn was. I didn't get a bucket. I just got a medium because I'm like, it's just me. And I didn't even finish it anyway. I like ate halfway down through it, right? So altogether, it cost me a little over $40 by the time I was done, to see this movie. Yeah. But anyway, I enjoy, I go for the experience. I enjoy Weapons a lot. Found out after watching it that the same man that did Barbarian, which I just saw for the first time like a month ago, he also did this. And, being a horror fan myself, I do pay attention to like the directors. Like Jordan Peele is one of my favorites. Wes Craven, may he rest in peace. What's that man's name? Ari Aster, the one who did Hereditary and what's that movie? Starts with an M. That Midsommar. That's the craziest movie I've ever seen. So this guy, like I said, did this and Barbarian. So I'm really looking forward to what he's going to be coming up with next. Now, word on the street is that there's supposed to be like a prequel coming out for Aunt Gladys. Also like to say, I'm assuming if you're watching this, you've already seen a movie, because of course there's going to be spoilers because this is a discussion on the movie. So I'm on TikTok, right? I don't post anything. I just watch videos, comment on stuff, interact with people. So there's a lot of people who are talking about plot holes, and I'm like, I think there's a difference between plot hole and leaving it open to interpretation. I think there's a difference. Like, to me, I personally don't have to have an Aunt Gladys prequel. I don't think I think it's kind of fun to speculate when it comes to movies sometimes. Like, from what we've seen in the movie, from her using the term, he's, I'm paraphrasing, he's dealing with consumption or something, and then come to find out that was the old school term for tuberculosis, which people don't even really get anymore. I think there's a vaccine for it or something, but that term was popular in like the 1800s. So they're like, okay, that's a clue. We don't know for a fact, but that's a clue that Gladys is old as hell. And now some people are saying that the body she's in is dead, but it's being possessed by this parasite witch. Then some people are saying that's really her, but she's just using that witchcraft to suck the youth out of people and everything. So I would like to believe Gladys used that body. It's somebody's body. I don't even think she's related to Alex and his family. But she used somebody's body and she's working her magic through it using that body. So going into this movie, I wasn't sure because, everybody that went to see this, the one thing you want to know is where did these kids run to? Because they didn't just disappear. It's not like you look at the ring cam and you see the kid running with their arms out and then they like turn into dust or fly up in the air and get, taken by some aliens or something. You just see them running. You see all these kids just running with their arms out, right? In a very unnatural way to run, right? So I was like, man, I gotta find out what's going on. Now, I wasn't thinking it was gonna be witchcraft. I really can't tell you what I was thinking. That was the joy of going to see it is, man, I'm trying to figure out where these kids went. One of the things I like about this movie, I do like the point of view. For those of you that read novels, in the last few years, that's been a very popular way of telling a story in a novel. Like you'll start out, instead of chapter 1, 2, and 3, you'll start off like, okay, it'll say Greg, and we'll literally read Greg's point of view. And then Darla, we'll see her point of view. It's the same story, but we're seeing different point of views. So I actually enjoy that. I think it's a hit or miss for some people. You're either probably really going to like that or really, really hate it. Hold on a second. I had my bathroom door open and I'm not a scaredy cat, but while I'm talking about witchcraft and ghosts, I need my doors closed. Anyway, like I said, I enjoyed I thought it was real creative, the point of views, right? And then in each point of view, we see scenes meet up. Like when, dang, I forgot that girl's name. I want to consider her the main character, but the teacher. When she was talking to the father of one of the missing boys, and she was at the gas station, and we see the principal running towards with his arms out, and then we cut to another point of view. Then we later on see the principal's point of view and see how he ended up like that. So I did enjoy that. Now, everyone feels sorry for he's like 8 or 9. Little boy Alex, because he has had to deal with this aunt coming into his life. The first people she possessed were his parents. So his parents are just sitting there in a very zombie-like state, just staring off into space, dead sitting there. Then we find out she's the one that lures the 17 kids in the house. So she's basically sucking youth from people, right? That's how she gets her physical strength and everything. So for how long were these kids missing? Like a month or two? Alex is having to just go to school, come home, feed kids and his parents, deal with whatever his aunt has going on. It was really sad, but we don't see any of this until we get to Alex's point of view. Another thing we found out, or someone pointed out, is that each of the characters have some kind of addiction. Like the teacher, she was an alcoholic. She was always drinking. She had gotten in trouble with DUI. Archer, the father of one of the missing students who actually was a bully to Alex, he's a workaholic. People speculate that his son bullies people because he's missing that fatherly attention at home. So he's acting out. Marcus and his husband, I got to get to Marcus and his husband in a minute. It was so sad. Marcus and his husband, their thing is gluttony. They sat down, had 7 hot dogs, plus there was some other stuff. I think there was some popcorn and everything. James, the junkie, You know, we see him early on, and I actually thought he was just going to be like an extra. I thought he only had like one or two lines, but we see him later on with the cop, right? So everything's intertwined. Now, the cop, when everybody was talking about addictions, if you think about it, the cop and Alex, they don't have an addiction that I could see. Now, as for the cop, he had absolutely, Paul, that's his name, he had absolutely zero redeeming qualities. He was married. He lied to the teacher girl about being married, talking about me and Donna are on and off. He gonna sleep with her. Donna comes home, finds out, goes and attacks the teacher girl. Like, he just, here's the part that people are debating about because, like I said, all these characters intertwine, right, eventually. So James, the junkie, he stops him because he thinks he's going to break into a building, which I think he probably was. Because, he's trying to get money to feed his habit. He asked James, do you have anything in your pocket? Is anything going to stick me? James said no, and he come in front of her, he has a syringe in his pocket. So out of anger, he punches James, knocks him out briefly. I believe his camera was on in his car, and so he's like, look, just forget it ever happened, blah, 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 blah. Like, Paul had there was nothing good about Paul at all. Like, but as far as that scene, do you feel like Paul was justified in hitting James? Because he asked him, do you have anything in your pocket that will stick me? James said no. I don't know if maybe he forgot and he's just used to having syringes in his pocket all day. But if you think about it, I don't see that happening because if you have needles in your pocket, it seems like to me you would always be mindful of it because you could stick yourself. You know what I mean? But back to Marcus and his husband. Now, this is the scene where we see what Gladys is. She does the witchcraft in their home, finds out where Marcus and his husband lives, come in, talking about, I need water, please, and all this stuff. The part where she possessed Marcus and he just goes and just headbutts his husband to death. That was really sad because Marcus, the principal, was probably one of the most likable characters out of the whole movie. Like he always tried to be professional. He tried to be fair when it came to the teacher, when it came to dealing with the missing students. And so for him to go out like that, headbutting his husband to the point where his whole face was gone, and then he gets hit by a truck after he's chasing the teacher girl because now I don't understand why Aunt Gladys had him chase down the teacher. Is it because the teacher was the main one trying to figure it out? Okay, I think I just answered my own question. She was constantly coming to Alex's house. She was staking out. She was really trying to figure out what's wrong with Alex because Alex was the only one in the class that didn't get abducted. So, yeah, I answered my own question. She was trying to take the teacher out. I feel like she had Marcus kill his husband because she didn't want any witnesses because she did the little witchcraft thing right in front of him. So, yeah. Now, the way it ends is heartbreaking because Alex, feeling like he was up against the wall and helping his Aunt Gladys get his whole class just for his parents to remain in a vegetative state and end up in a home, and he shipped off to another aunt, hopefully a real one. It was sad. Some of the kids didn't start talking. Some did. But I'm not upset about the ending. You know what I mean? Everything doesn't always have to have a good ending. It was just sad because it's like, damn, Alex did all that just to have his parents have locked in syndrome, pretty much. It was just sad. Do I want a sequel? Like I said, I don't have to have a prequel. Sequels, because when Sinners came out, people were talking about prequels and sequels too. They were like, well, we need a movie about the Choctaw vampire hunters. And, it's like sometimes things can just stay how they are. I wouldn't be against it. I don't have to have it. I don't have to have a prequel. I don't have to have a sequel to Weapons because sometimes Sequels can be bad. Like Megan 2.0, which I have not seen yet, but I didn't hear anybody talking about it like at all. So I'm assuming maybe it didn't live up to the hype. So who knows about the sequel to Weapons? I'm open for it. I'm always down for a good horror film. Shout out to my 155 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed, but you know you can by hitting that like button or subscribe button for me. So what do you think about Weapons? This is in my opinion, probably the second biggest horror film of the year after Sinners. Black Phone is coming out soon. The Conjuring Last Rites is coming out. This is a really dope year for horror. Like, I am ready. I need to go ahead and get that Regal subscription. All right, but let me know what you think, man. Peace and blessings to every one of you watching. Until next time.